Hi guys, Ali Taylor down at Heron's Reach, and last week TaylorMade launched some new irons in the P range. They launched the P790, the P7MC and the P770, while continuing in that line was the P790. Now I've done the review videos on the three new models, but I've been getting asked an awful lot about what is the difference between P790 and P770. So in today's video, we're going to find out exactly how they perform. Right then, so if you're new to my channel, welcome down to Ali Taylor Golf. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for taking the time to come back, and hopefully you're going to enjoy today's content. If you don't currently subscribe though, please consider clicking that subscribe button below, ringing that notification bell, and then whenever I drop a new video, you'll find out straight away, and hopefully these videos I make are helping you make better choices on clubs and play better golf. But for today, let's have a look at the P790 versus the P770 from TaylorMade, and I'm going to tell you why I think the 770 will actually overtake the 790 as TaylorMade's best-selling ever iron. Right then, so I've got another beautifully sunny morning down at Heron's Reach. The sun's a little bit on the low side, so sorry if there's a few shadows in here. But a lot of guys asking me about, P790 is a great selling club, lots of guys love it. Kind of why are TaylorMade bringing out the 770? So there's a slight difference in loft. I'm going to have a close-up look at the heads, just talk a little bit about kind of the difference in the design of the clubs, kind of really get you guys understanding kind of maybe who the 770 is aimed at as opposed to 790. But in my initial testing of 790, well, what was it, 2.5 years ago for the original model, and then end of last year for the updated version, there was a shot that appeared from time to time that would massively concern me as a golfer. And it'd be interesting. I'm going to hit 10 balls with each Titleist Pro V1X on TrackMan, and we're going to see if that strange shot appears and why that could be a negative to the 790 that might move you into 770. So when you look at the head for 790, everybody knows what this looks like now. It's a really good looking club from the back. Lots of tungsten down there to get that launch angle up, because at 30.5 degrees, it's a very strong loft. As we look at the sole of the club, not the thickest sole, but again, you can see there's plenty of weight down there, and you can see that the screw at the end where they inject the speed foam. We've got the speed slot in the sole of the club for those low strikes. That's just from 7-iron into the mid and longer irons. And when you put it down behind the golf ball, I don't think it's an overly chunky looking club, but certainly a slightly thicker top line. So I'm going to hit 10 shots. I'm not going to talk you through them shot by shot, but we're going to look at the averages at the end, and we're going to see how this performs. Same again with 770, and just see if that abnormal shot appears. Now that's the one. That one just kind of looks like it just keeps going. So it'll be interesting at the end. We'll kind of have a look. The fourth shot. Remember that fourth shot? We're going to see if that was different from all the rest of the shots. Okay, so for me there, kind of 9 out of 10 look very, very similar, but shot number 4 definitely looked like it just kind of kept going. So maybe that low spinning one that I have seen in the past, which I said is that strange shot. So let's jump over onto 770. So again, we'll have a quick look at the head, but the key difference here is 30.5 degrees with P790, 33 with 770. So certainly for me, not necessarily aimed at the guy who's looking for out and out distance, maybe a little bit more of a player's club with that little bit of power and forgiveness. And when you look at the back of the head, it doesn't look as kind of powerful, still got that tungsten in there, but a little bit more refined looking. When you look at the sole of the club, definitely a little bit less chunky, and when you look at the clubs side by side, you can see the P790 definitely a thicker sole. So we've still got the screw in there for that speed foam to be injected. We've still got the speed slot in the sole of the club. And when you put it down behind the golf ball, you know, that slightly thinner top line, and when you look at the clubs side by side, you can certainly see P790, not massively different top line, but certainly looks thinner. Right, so when we do look at the numbers, it'll be very, very interesting overall to see the spin. We'd expect P790 to spin less and go further because of the lofts, but there was that abnormal shot. It'd be interesting to see how consistent P770 might be. So just for me, for the naked eye there, certainly look like they launched a little bit higher, maybe just hang in the air a little bit more, so maybe a little bit more spin on those. But let's look at the numbers for P790, P770. Let's see what that slightly different looking shot number 4 was with P790. And let's try and work out, is 770 going to become their new popular iron? So we look at the average carry at 173.6, so call it 174, total 184, ball speed just under 121 and just over 5,000 spin, which was interesting because that's kind of where I would expect it to be, maybe marginally higher. Now there's that interesting shot number 4, 190 carry, 204 total. Ball speed not much different at 122, but only 3,300 spin. So that's that killer, that one that suddenly goes further through the air, could be potentially destructive, you know, looking at 15 yards further through the air. So for a lot of guys, it might at least make you reach the flag, but because that's not a consistency, that can become a little bit of an issue. So as we move into P770, 164 carry, so not a massive change, ball speed at 119, which I would still take, smash factor at 1.33, which is good, but we can see, even though the ball speed gets very close, much more spin at just under 6,300, and that's where that extra loft is giving that bit more control. Right then guys, so P790 and P770, both really good clubs, but we did see in that kind of small sample of 10 shots with each, how the P790 just has that odd freak shot in there where that spins low 15 yards through the air, and potentially I think that becomes a negative to P790. Is it a little bit more forgiving? Maybe. P770 though is a great looking club, not quite as strong on loft, but you can see there wasn't a big drop off in distance. But I think certainly for the guy who doesn't mind giving up a few yards, or woman who doesn't mind giving up a few yards, P770 is definitely going to be really popular. And I do think there'll be a few golfers out there who, maybe that odd one with P790, they're going to change to P770. But as ever, you need to get along, get fitted, see what works, and get what is best for you. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it, comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you've enjoyed today's content and you don't currently subscribe, hit the button below, ring the notification bell, and then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.